One of the tabs within a service entities page is labeled Insights. This is where users can view details of the various calls made to remote services, databases, caching services, and any exceptions which have been caught. This includes the following subtabs: remote services, databases, caches, and exceptions. By default, all of these views show an overview of all of the last hour worth of data, or using the time range selector, can show historical data from earlier time periods. The Remote Services tab shows details of the remote calls being made to web endpoints. This could represent a non-instrumented service, such as a third-party API or a peer service, which is also being monitored by SWO. If that is the case, there will be a link to that service entity in this view. For calls to a peer service, this tab also provides visibility into the transaction associated with this type of call. For all calls, we capture the request type, HTTP, HTTPS, the request method, GET, POST, PUT, DELETE, etc., total and average durations, and the number of occurrences we have in traces we have captured. There are also two charts showing the top 5 remote services consuming the most total time and the top 5 remote service operations consuming the most time. The Databases tab shows details of the calls being made to databases. These details would include the database name, the type of query operation, insert, select, delete, update, etc., which table is being queried, total and average durations, and the number of occurrences we have in traces we have captured. There are also 3 charts showing the top 5 databases consuming the most total time, the top 5 database hosts consuming the most total time, and the top 5 queries consuming the most total time. The Caches tab shows details of the calls being made to caching services like Redis or Memcache. These details would include the name of the cache service, the cache operation, total and average durations, and the number of occurrences we have in traces we have captured. There are also 4 charts showing the top 5 cache services consuming the most total time, top 5 cache operations consuming the most total time, top 5 cache hosts consuming the most total time, and top 5 cache operations with the most total hits. The Exceptions tab shows details of the exceptions which have been caught by SolarWinds observability. These details would include the exception class, exception message, the number of occurrences we have in traces we have captured, and when it occurred last. There is a chart showing the distribution of all exceptions seen over the time range selected.